want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Here's Johnny.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfuckers.
We in the killing Nazi business. Cousin, business is out. Boom.
Yes. No. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Ooh la la.
Oh, hey guys, welcome back to Six Pack and a Movie Podcast. This is your host Cornelius with my always charming co-host Kodai. Hello, Kodai.
Hey, my nipples are erect. I've got a beer. I got a beer. I broke my rule because it's Sunday and not Tuesday. And we got some shit to talk about.
Oh shit, bro, you've been sticking with the rules, eh?
Not too great this past week, but oh yeah, it was Columbus, Ohio Beer Week or Columbus Beer Week.
Oh,
Columbus
okay.
Craft Beer Week.
So you would, I imagine you would have had a hard time with that, anyways.
Yeah, a bunch of like food events, beer events going all week long across the entire city. So I wasn't gonna skip all them bitches. I actually didn't go to nearly that many, but I mean,
well, that sounds like
one
a
of them I
fucking
missed.
good time.
A couple of
anyways.
them missed actually. It's fun, yeah. It's like special tappings. Special. I mean, there's a lot of breweries in Columbus, so special tappings, special like variants of some of their popular beers. Like add some fruit, add some bourbon, add some chocolate, different shit.
Experimental
Try it
shit.
out. Try it out, yeah.
What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking South 11 by Who Farted. It's a double IPA, New England style. It's one of my OG favorites from these guys. 10.2% alcohol.
Oh shit,
Drink
bro.
at 46 degrees Fahrenheit.
Shit, bro.
It's right below 12. South of 11. It's 10.
Huh.
I did it opposite on that.
Yeah, it's below 11, motherfucker.
It's 10.2%. So I don't know if that's like the reference to below 11 or south of 11. So
Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I feel like they have like their finger on the vein of naming their shit comedically, so I'm sure that's the reason. There's no other.
yeah, I was drinking a little bit before, so I was drinking a beer from them called $60 Nachos. So that gives you an idea of how they vibe.
Oh yeah, you get their vibe. I hate that phrase. Like some girl the other day posted a picture of her like being. She said I'm being dorky but cute at the same time. It's a vibe, and she's like,
No.
she's older than you and I. Like
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So when he said that, I thought like a 16-year-old girl.
Right? Yeah, like, oh, it's a vibe. Yeah, that's cool. It's a vibe. I get it. You're figuring shit out. But no, this is a grown fucking woman. It's a vibe. Like, oh. But back to the beers. I had one of the most delicious beers lately. It's called, I think it's by Jackie O's. It's called Dank Juice. Are you familiar? Very hazy IPA. Very thick citrus. It was like drinking orange juice. Let me see if I can find it. The Dank Juice.
Dank Juice. Odd Side Ales. I saw something from them.
Odd
First thing
side.
that popped up.
Dirty
it's a white
Dank.
can. Dirty Dank Juice.
I think that might be it, my brother. Let me see.
Not
if I
Jackie
can-
O's. It's from Michigan, so it's not too far.
Yeah.
Couple hundred miles.
Well, maybe I said Jackie O's because I've been fucking with Jackie O's so hard. But yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is
Fuck
it.
with double.
Yeah. It looks like fucking Sunny D, but it's called Dank Juice. So that's a badass beer I've had lately. And then Elvis Juice. I had that as well. Can't remember who made that.
Oh, I think I saw that on Snapchat. That's from Brewdog.
Oh, is it?
They're originally from somewhere in the UK.
Oh, that's that beer you were drinking when I was down there for the first podcast.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was it. Yeah, and they have that spot in Lancaster.
Yeah.
I went there, actually. Yeah, check it out. It's pretty cool.
You went to the
They're
brewery?
building a hotel. Yeah, I went to the brewery, yeah.
They're
It was,
building a
it was
hotel
busy,
for the
so
brewery?
They're building a hotel. I don't know if it's like on the same land, but apparently it's gonna have beer on tap in the room. So
Holy
Pretty
shit.
cool.
Jesus Christ.
I know. It's like I don't know, one of those things like you as a kid you like imagine you grow up, or like a big. No, what was the movie?
Mr. Deeds with
He
the
had-
Hawaiian Punch.
Mr. Deeds. Yeah, shit, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. That's better that way.
Yeah, he had Hawaiian punch fountain in his house. Yeah, yeah. There was I was playing trivia the other day and it was like name 4 of the 5 top Adam Sandler grossing films, and I think
Mr. Deeds, Happy Gilmore.
Mr. Deeds might have been in there. Grown Ups was in there.
Oh, fuck.
Big Daddy was in there. I never watched Grown Ups, but I knew it did well enough to make a sequel. So
It did well.
I did get that one.
Gross money because people are stupid.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
who am I to
it
judge?
It did go to the box office. I mean, we're not the market, I guess, anymore. Or maybe it's just the market. His original market is growing up now with him, and now what they find funny is not the same stuff. So
all I'm
not a
saying,
movie for
like,
us.
I don't like to judge people on their movie decisions, but if somebody says my favorite actor is Adam Sandler, I won't fuck that person. Like, I'll do my best to avoid procreating with that person.
No, he can act though. Like he did Punch Drunk Love. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
His serious shit is fucking good these days, man. Like, yeah, I did see Punch Drunk Love, and I saw Spanglish, and I think we talked about the Merowitz stories. The Merowitz stories took me.
I think you mentioned that.
Yes, that's a movie I recommend highly. It's super good.
How about this? Bill Hader. I was talking about Barry last time.
Yeah,
We did this. Holy shit, dude, man, that guy. He's good. He's really good. You know, think of another character from like SNL. Someone that you wouldn't think of, someone that can act seriously. Dude, man, he's good.
Skeleton
He's
Twins.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
What did you see Hader in that made you think he was good?
Barry, the HBO show.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he was in the Skeleton Twins, and I like that a lot. And he played a serious actor, like a really depressed, sad dude, and he killed it.
Yeah, let's check that one out.
Who's one of your like actors that may not be mainstream? Like an actor that you go to all the time, but it's not like everybody's like famous actor that they choose. My example would be like Jason Bateman. I'm kind of pretty into Jason Bateman.
Yeah. I don't know if I have like an actor. I follow directors more.
Yeah.
Tarantino,
Tarantino.
Tarantino, Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch all their movies. I like Tom Cruise. I like a good Tom Cruise flick.
I feel like Tom Cruise might be the most famous of all time. You
I know,
had
he's super
one
famous,
fucking
but-
role.
I'll tell you what really got me on Tom Cruise recently was Live, Die, Repeat or Edge of Tomorrow.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I can't remember what the even name is now because they changed it, but
It's Live, Die, Repeat now, which is horse shit.
Oh, yeah. I think Edge of Tomorrow they said was like too generic sounding.
I think it sounds bad as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You're like at the brink of tomorrow. That sounds.
It's right. It's all right. It does sound like a shitty action movie. It's not. Those are super good. If you get a chance to watch that, definitely check it out.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow was dope. You saw the Isle of Dogs, didn't you?
Yeah, saw it. Came out in theaters around here.
What'd you think?
It had like a weird release. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I see like more promotion for it now than I did when it was actually in theaters. Like it might be in theaters, but it's definitely not in its box office weekend. It's been surpassed.
It had like a staggered release, I think. It's one
Really?
of those things where it was in select theaters at first. And when I saw it, it was only playing in one theater in town. So,
No shit.
and I mean, we have a lot of theaters here, so I think I was playing at like there's Gateway Cinema, which was kind of like an independent theater, I think I mentioned before.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
that and the Studio 35, or like the small independent ones.
I wonder if Wes Anderson would even fucking care, like, if he didn't make a shit ton of money on it. He seems like the dude that, like, genuinely cares about, like, his art kind of thing.
Yeah, he's probably he's probably the most successful or well-known artsy director working today, I guess.
I don't think I could think of another one.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else like that. I'm sure there's some smaller directors that are doing stuff, but I mean, he's got a very distinguished color palette, framing, the way he does his shots. You know, you could watch a movie and guess it was Wes Anderson without knowing it was him.
Yeah.
I mean, so much that he's parody of himself, and I think he gets more Wes Anderson with each movie he makes. But I enjoy it. There's a great subreddit called Accidental Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You should check it.
I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just shit that looks like it should be in a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, it looks like it was a shot. You know, just say going back to like the color palette, the symmetry, the framing of you do a 9:9 ratio.
Yeah, I'd like to get in his head. Like, how do directors kind of get that style from it? Because they're the first person doing it. You don't see anybody else with Wes Anderson shit.
No, and I guess if you did it now, you'd be called out.
You'd be
because it's
replication.
It's such a recognizable style that, like, if you did Quentin Tarantino, you can argue like, yeah, I was inspired by Tarantino, but I'm not copying it. If you did Wes Anderson, you'd be like, oh, what? You're using fucking pastels, bitch.
Yeah.
You can't use pastel.
Is that a fucking 70s record player? two children hanging out? This is a Wes Anderson movie, bro.
Why is there a tent in this shot? Fuck you.
I really like Wes Anderson, but for some reason the Life Aquatic I didn't get into. I really loved fucking what is that one? The tent one with the kids.
Oh, that's Moonrise Kingdom.
Yes, dude, that movie's so good.
That is really great. Yeah, Life Aquatic is a much less. I don't know. It's like a slow burn, very subtle jokes, and they're not very powerful. Like, it's not a very powerful comedy. I think it's more about like it's more character development. I don't know. I'm probably just talking to my ass, but I know what you mean. Where it's not as good as his last ones. I mean, I feel like he's really been crushing it with Moonrise,
Budapest,
Grand Budapest, and then Isle of Dogs. Now, man, those are good movies.
The first time
Rushmore is really good too, and that one's older.
That's his first movie.
That's his first big one. Yeah.
The movie before that was what? Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rocket, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm well aware of Wes Anderson. I just haven't really sat down and focused on anything other than Moonrise Kingdom, honestly.
Just come to my house and we'll watch every single movie.
I will. That sounds like a long fucking time, but let's do it.
I own them all now. What sucks is a lot of it is if you don't get them on Blu-ray right away, they go in this it's like some sort of special movie.
Like a vault?
Criterion. It's like someone buys the rights for the distribution of the movie, and they're like $30 or something like that.
Oh,
for the Blu-rays, yeah.
Oh shit.
If you were going on, like, I guess I'll check Amazon right now.
You're gonna make a brother start streaming, man. I'm trying to be a good guy here.
Look at Moonrise Kingdom.
I have some friends that are doing the Movie Pass right now, so I will keep you in touch with that. I call bullshit. It doesn't make sense. Like, how the fuck are they making any fucking money at all?
What's a Movie Pass?
You've heard of this, right?
Oh, is this the theater thing where you get like a
$10? Well, did we talk about this last week or last time we recorded?
No.
Okay, so
No,
so $10. What they did, they had this big scandal where they're like, "Ooh, sorry guys, it's no longer $10 for unlimited movies. It's $10 for 4 movies." Well, they did that. And then it hit the news and went fucking crazy. And everybody's like, fucking Movie Pass. You only get 4 movies. Fuck you, Movie Pass. And then they switched it back to $10, and now it's like a powerhouse. Is this the craziest
Amazon, or
thing.
AMC?
I don't even know who owns it. It's just, honestly, it works at like a shit ton of theaters, though. Let me
So
see.
you buy it online, and then you
$10. Unlimited movies. You just can't see the same movie twice or 2 movies in one day. I think.
Well, I've never done that in my life.
Yeah, and I don't
I've done
plan
it one time.
to.
I think I've done it one time. I've seen 2 movies at once.
Yeah, I did too, but we snuck in. My grandma was a fucking thug.
It's so easy. The movie is such a like honor system.
It is.
If you think about it.
Yeah. One time, I'm going to look up Movie Pass right now, but you just reminded me. One time back when we were in college, we were having a little party and we got like wasted. And for some reason, we're like, dude, let's drive to the town over and go see Saw 5. Like one of the Saws that didn't matter at all. And we were like 30 minutes late, so we just walked in drunk and we didn't pay. We just sat and watched it.
What's great about the Saw movies is they actually made a grand story. Like they all make sense, you know, and they made like tie-ins back to the previous ones a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a little bit of effort put into the Saw movies. And the greatest thing, spoilers for Saw, but like it's Saw, so like fuck you. The last Saw movie that they made, you find out that it was the guy that cut off his foot in the first one, which is a really good movie. So the guy that cut his foot off, he was running the show for the past, in the Saw universe, for the past every movie after that. Like, he was the guy that was doing shit. And someone had a fan theory and they discovered it. But the thing is, though, so if you watch the last Saw movie, they bring that character back at the very beginning of the movie, completely giving away that. I mean, if you don't if you don't have any like insight into movies or forethought, I don't know if that's the best word, or intuition, you would be like, oh, this guy's here, I remember him, I'm complete, forget him. But if you're like, okay, why'd they decide to put him in the movie at this point? Oh, it's because he's going to be the bad guy and they wanted to remind you. It's kind of like when you watch a TV show and they're previously on Game of Thrones. Yeah. And it's like, oh, wait, this character? Oh, shit. I guess something's going to happen to him because they reminded us
brought him back.
This guy's in it. Yeah. So I like to skip the previously on a lot of TV shows like that because it just gives away.
Yeah. Saw, did they give that away? Like, I guess I didn't catch on to it when I saw him at the beginning of that movie. Did you notice it?
Yeah, as soon as they showed him, I was like, oh, well, he's going to have some sort of grand part in all this.
Oh, really? Yeah, so maybe it was just like a rookie move that they did that. That wasn't even
I guess, yeah.
That wasn't the latest Saw either. Like, one just came out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think this one is this in the original Saw universe?
Yeah, yeah.
Did it come out, or is it coming out?
Oh, it came out. I watched it already. It was
watching, or no?
It was okay. It was worth a watch, I suppose. I'm kind of a sucker for like horror movies that aren't boring, and the Saw movies have never been boring to me. If you guys want to see a really good horror movie, though, it's called Deathgasm. It's on Netflix, and it's like,
oh, I watched that.
Did you? No shit.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's a good movie, man. It's like there's a bunch of metalheads.
Some weird tits in that movie. It's like a movie that didn't have tits at all, and then for like one short scene, that here's a pair.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I like that movie. It kept you on the edge of your seat because it went from really normal and then like people fighting with dildos, tits everywhere. Like, it was good.
I thought this was weird. House of Cards. I haven't watched the whole thing, but and this is a spoiler, but in the first episode, there's a pair of tits, and it's like in the first like 2 minutes too maybe of the show. Probably not. First 10 minutes probably. There's a pair of tits. There's no boobs, I think, in the entire show. So it's a weird choice for them to decide to, because I mean you have a rated R rating if you know it's on Netflix, but like they do release Netflix on Blu-ray and shit, so you now give yourself a rated R for 2 seconds of boob. It's kind of a weird choice.
Do you think that's like the main reason they were rated R, or do you think they're just like, fuck it, we're already rated R?
I don't think House of Cards would get a rated R rating at all.
No shit.
I don't think there's anything. It'd definitely be PG-13. I think.
Are you excited for what they're doing, like getting rid of Spacey? Or
no, I love Kevin Spacey.
Dude, this is such a tricky moment in the universe because I love TJ Miller. I miss Louis, and I know they fucked up, but I still want to see their stuff, you know?
TJ Miller, dude, what is going on with that guy? Man.
I haven't even read about it, man, because I'm literally like, I'm so numb. I can't fucking lose another actor. I'm losing my shit.
Like, he got accused of some sort of sex thing. I don't think it really had legs to it, but he was on a train recently, drunk, got in an argument with the lady, and so he called her in for having a bomb on the train. And they found out she didn't have a bomb, and then they knew who made the call, and so he got in trouble for it. Pretty big deal. So
Yeah.
and he made the claim that he left his show. I don't know if you he's on a show on HBO.
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. He left the show, and he said he wanted to pursue his own directions, I guess.
Yeah, and which made sense because his career was blowing up back then.
But we're not entirely sure if that's the truth, though.
Right?
Yeah, I heard apparently some conflicting stories.
You think they might have caught on to all this shit before it came out, and they're like, hey.
It's a possibility he was hard to work with. So.
Oh, my God.
No, there is a theory that he had a brain tumor, I think he talked about on This Is Not Happening.
Yeah, I saw that.
Stand-up special. He had a brain tumor or some sort of something wrong with his brain, so it's possibly has brain damage because, you listen to Rogan, so they talk about Sam Kinison.
How it got rid of his fear sensors.
Or no, not Sam Kinison. Who was it? Someone else. They got hit by a car.
It was one of the old comedians, Cradle to the Grave. It's the guy that Alex Jones is supposed to be replacing right now.
In what?
In life.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. Yeah, so it could be Sam Kinison, yeah.
I think it might
he got hit by a car, though, and he said he had a radical behavior change after that.
You know what blows my fucking mind about that whole, getting hit in the head and shit happening to you kind of thing? You're telling me if somebody gets hit in the head, they can be a savant at the fucking piano? Okay, I buy that a little bit. Somebody gets hit in the head and they learn a new language? The fuck?
Nah.
What are you talking about?
Call it shenanigans.
I'm calling bullshit. The piano thing, maybe. Maybe they just have an ear for it kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could possibly, once you could play piano, and if you could remember the keys, in photographic memory or earographic memory, and then you could be able to compose music. I guess, yeah, I believe that. But if you don't know a language,
yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? You're telling me you've just overheard enough French to do that?
Yeah, that's not being stored.
No, that's bullshit.
Fuck your couch. That's what I say.
What the fuck? I don't know, man. I was thinking earlier today, could you imagine if one of the big podcasts we listen to just kind of stops? Because this past week, I was dry of podcasts from my main source, and it fucked up my whole week.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah,
we haven't recorded for a bit, so
yeah,
probably ruined tons of people's lives.
Oh yeah, at least 6 people's lives.
At least 6 people's lives have been really off the rails lately.
Somebody's losing their shit. But it's gonna be a goddamn dark day if Rogan quits recording, man. Because he could just peace out by now.
He's making a ton of bank off of those, so.
You think he's making good money on the podcast?
Dude, I bet he's making a ton, yeah. He gets 10 million listens or views on YouTube alone. And all the advertisements.
And that pays right there.
Dude, he's probably making tens of $1,000s each episode, and he puts out 4 a week. So
shit.
And he doesn't pay people to be on it. Sometimes he pays for travel and stuff, but I mean.
Yeah, he hooks them up with room and board and shit.
Yeah, every once in a while I think there's a few guests, and then it's literally just him and Jamie. I heard something about they were estimating that he makes $100,000 an episode. I don't know how accurate that is because it's hard to tell because they don't have all the information. But they figured out the advertisements he has and how many ads he has, how long the ads are, and then the amount of views he gets. And they just calculated, you have some minus, X amount of percent for ad block, like myself.
Yeah. Does that?
I didn't realize they had ads on YouTube for a long time until unless I watch on my phone or if I have my ad blocker on.
Oh fuck! I pay for the YouTube Red.
Oh, is that cut out ads?
Yeah, it's amazing. But it also includes YouTube Red series and Google Play Music, so that's pretty sweet.
Oh, no shit, Google Play? Oh, that's not bad then.
Yeah, and so it's just buying Spotify, except for it gets rid of ads. But yeah, man, I imagine he's fucking banking, but that's crazy, because I would say his podcast is probably the most popular in the nation, right?
I don't know. This American Life is pretty big.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Joe Rogan's pretty big, though. I don't know who's all big. Chris Hardwick's Nerdist podcast pretty big.
Yeah. He changed the name of that, and for some reason, I got over that podcast. I used to listen to that pretty religiously.
Yeah.
It's not even called The Nerdist. It's called ID10T with Chris Hardwick.
ID10T?
Yeah.
Oh, idiot.
Yeah. Well, I ruined something beautiful, Chris. Okay. So
Or that's because he made the Nerdist Network, is what he did.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he wants to separate himself, and so when people say Nerdist, they think the network instead of just an individual podcast.
Yeah.
They know he has like a whole group of shows on there now.
He calls it the many-headed beast.
I used to listen to the Indoor Kids, which Kumail Namgiani and his wife.
The dude from
He's in
The Big Sick.
He's in Silicon Valley. Yeah, Big Sick. Yeah, him and his wife. So.
Oh, the chick from The Big Sick as well. Well, the girl she was based off of.
Yeah, she did work on that. It's a good movie.
The Big Sick?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, it's a good movie.
But that's my recommendation for this week.
There you go. Big Sick. Rom-com.
We're doing Back to the Future Part 2, by the way. So if you forgot the title.
Yeah.
Back to the Future Part 2, that's our movie. And my movie this week is The Big Sick.
My recommendation this week. Well, okay, if you want like an artsy movie with Adam Driver because he's a heartthrob, check out Patterson on Amazon Prime because that was fucking dope. Then
Patterson?
Yes, it was very good. It's like a raw look at humans' life, like a very microscopic look at the life of a human, and it's almost like the Moonlit movie or Moonlight.
I need to watch that still.
Yeah, so that's good. And then another rom-com I dig with Adam Driver is What If? It's with Daniel Radcliffe, and that's a really good fucking movie.
I was just thinking Daniel Radcliffe for some reason, and I was going to make another recommendation. Swiss Army Man.
Yes.
Paul Dano. You might know him from...
Looper.
Oh, yeah, Looper, There Will Be Blood. I'm not entirely sure what else.
Girl Next Door. He was Klitz in The Girl Next Door.
Girl Next Door. I don't...
Well, if you haven't seen that,
I don't fucking remember that movie.
you need to fucking watch that movie.
So the girl in the rain at the door? Yep, that is.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, I haven't watched it in a while. You know, Chris Evans is in a Not Another Teen movie.
Really?
Yeah, he's the main guy.
Oh, no shit.
He's also in a lot of people, it seemed like their first big movie, maybe. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got Anna Kendrick, Aubrey Plaza, Michael Cera, of course, which was, I'm not sure if that was his first big movie. Chris Evans in it. It's got Jason Schwartzman in it. It's got Macaulay Culkin's brother. I'm not sure what his name is, but
Rory.
Macaulay Culkin's brother. Rory McCulkin.
Rory Culkin. You added another
got,
MC on there. Rory McCulkin.
It's got Brie Larson. She's in Room, and she's going to play Captain Marvel, I believe is her name.
Yeah, Room was weird. Worth a watch, I feel. Maybe.
I watched Room and had no clue what it was about. I don't know if we talked about this before, maybe. I don't know. But I had it on my list for some reason, and I watched it. And maybe tiny spoiler for Room, but I had no clue what was going on. And for the first bit, I was wondering if it's some sort of post-apocalyptic world where he was bringing, like, goods, like, from the... You know, like he was braving the wilderness and the fucking chaos out there.
Yeah. He was like a good dude.
I didn't know if he was like a great dude, but she was, pleasuring him for payment.
Oh,
that was her
yes.
payment.
Yes.
For like the goods that he was bringing. And then, you know, obviously after I figured it out, the first time, like as that movie went on, I was like, what's going on here?
That movie
much different
me,
movie.
Yeah, no shit. You were way off. That was more like a better version of Room, I will say. Like way more enjoyable as 10 Cloverfield Lane. Goddamn. Now that's a good.
Oh shit, yeah.
That's a good fucking movie.
That's a goddamn good movie. I saw that in the theater with Michael.
I saw that in theaters too, with Ethan and Alex. But that movie like kind of keeps you guessing because that was the first time that they brought anything else into the Cloverfield world, the Cloverfield universe.
Yeah. The most recent one we watched together, I felt like it was kind of shoehorned in.
Right.
It seemed like they bought.
Sewed it
I think
in
you
there.
said they bought the script, yeah, and just kind of added a little smidge to it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what comes of it. Yeah, that is I think that movie actually had a name called The Cellar originally, and I think it was the same thing where they already had the script for it, and they're like, hold on, but wait, what about
Cloverfield? Yeah. But wait, what about Cloverfield? I'll
tell you what I didn't
the
see
zombies,
in the theater,
or never mind. Go ahead.
I'll say I didn't see Back to the Future Part 2 in the theater.
Oh, me neither. That's probably because we were just children. We were just babies. I did do some.
We weren't born.
Yeah, 1990 was when Back to the Future 3 came out. So if that tells you
I know that
anything,
because the end.
Yeah. That was crazy because that's how you know they had already pre-filmed that shit. Because at the end of Back to the Future 2, it showed a shit ton from Back to the Future 3.
It gave away. It was like a bad trailer because it gave away like a lot of like plot elements, and I was wondering. I was like, "Is this from the original cut? And did they add this in like to these DVD Blu-ray releases?" Nope. That's
the
was
original.
like that probably was in the theater.
Yeah. Why the fuck?
Nuts.
Why would they add that to the Blu-rays anyway? It's like regardless, whoever's watching this for the first time, you better.
That's like. So I mean, they filmed all 3 Lord of the Rings movies back to back, and that's like you watch the first Lord of the Rings movie, like, oh hey, guess what happens next? Like we're gonna show you a bunch of crazy hijinks with fucking Gollum and shit. So.
Yeah, but Lord of the Rings was smart about it, right? They just held everything. They withheld everything.
I think they did everything 1 year apart. So.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the Future. Get your shit together. That might be one of the reasons why people didn't.
They might have
like
won Best Picture.
Who?
2 years in a row.
Lord of the Rings.
I think they got Best Picture maybe 2 years in a row. I'm not entirely sure, but
that fucking makes sense. People that like those movies fucking like those movies.
I mean, they are the Star Wars original trilogy of the Star Wars universe, and I mean, I didn't want to say it originally, and I tried to hold off on it, but the Hobbit trilogy, man, dude, those are the prequels. Those are the Star Wars prequels, 1, 2, and 3.
What is the Hobbit? Oh,
so the Hobbit,
like it was
the Hobbit
bad
book movie. Yeah, they goofed it up. And if you don't know a little bit of fact, story behind it, Evangeline Lilly, is that how you pronounce it? From
sure.
Lost, she plays a character that is not in the book at all, but you know that's okay. But when she filmed it originally, she said, "I don't want to be the Jar Jar Binks of this movie." And she kind of became because she said, "Hey, I don't want there to be a love triangle," and they said, "There's no love triangle, bitch."
Bitch.
And they did reshoots, and they added a love triangle in the reshoots.
In The Hobbit.
In The Hobbit, yeah. And then they stretched out the shortest book into 3 movies.
So
and they just added a bunch of story.
She had a feeling that she was gonna be Jar Jar'd.
She had a premonition, starring Sandra Bullock.
Nobody knows that movie, bro.
Fucking...
Nobody knew about that. Shit. Yeah, I hear that about The Hobbit. What was the problem with The Hobbit? Just too much CGI?
Yeah, CGI. One of the great things about the Lord of the Rings, I think, is that a lot of the armor and stuff was handmade armor. They didn't use CGI that much. For a lot of scenes with the hobbits and Gimli, they used doubles, or they used like risers to make people appear taller. They shot people from like different angles. They were like real creative with it. And I guess Ian McKellen said something about how all of his scenes with the hobbits, it was like him by himself, and he was kind of like a little bit heartbroken. He's like, this isn't this isn't how you film a movie, or this isn't what a movie's supposed to be. So he's filming these scenes by himself.
Not even the forced perspective.
He has no one to like go off of, and they're like, we're gonna CGI the hobbits in later.
Oh,
so I guess it's easier, but
of course it's
there's
fucking
like
easier.
There's a shot of him in his and he has a stunt double and a tall double in the original trilogy or in the Lord of the Rings movies. And he's got a tall double because if you got a shot when he's supposed to be standing beside Daniel Radcliffe, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If he stayed beside Daniel Radcliffe,
which was in this movie, by the way.
What's it in? Oh yeah, Daniel Radcliffe is in this movie. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I saw that a lot. Like they would always talk about the forced perspective things, and that's why that movie had so much. Because all those shots were like real, and now you're fucking switching it with CGI. And he was on the original project. Like fuck, of course he's gonna be heartbroken.
Aragorn, I forget his name now.
Orlando Bloom.
Not Orlando Bloom.
Oh.
I forget his name right now.
That's
Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortensen. The
Red Skull.
He got offered a part in the Hobbit movies, and he turned it down because Aragorn's not in the book.
Good for him.
Orlando Bloom's character, Legolas, isn't in it either, but he got himself out of the that Parts of the Caribbean money, so gotta get that paycheck again.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, God forbid you take the $100 million you made from the biggest franchises in history and put it aside and not make a dog shit movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, let's get to Back to the Future though.
Yeah. Okay. So
about time.
Yeah, for sure. About 40 minutes in here. So I checked out a few things on Back to the Future. I will let you guys know Back to the Future 2 is the lowest rated as for Rotten Tomatoes. Yes. So that kind of
what'd it get?
It's got a 63 versus Back to the Future 1 is a 96 and Back to the Future 3 is a 74. Which
wow, dude. A 63. Is this critic or audience?
This is critics, yeah.
63?
Yeah.
Dude,
so,
that
is
astounding to me.
Flirting with Rotten, right?
Dude, I love this movie.
I did too. This used to be my favorite fucking movie.
Dude, this is the best goddamn 63 you'll ever watch then.
Yeah. But the audience did give it a 85, and that's out of 23,000 people versus only 60 critics.
Well, maybe some people that need to taste the movie need to watch this.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because
this movie is fantastic.
It was fucking good.
It needs no introduction. It's Back to the Future Part 2. Maybe you haven't watched it, though. Maybe you only watched it on Spike TV on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But
who could blame you, brother?
It was on. It was on all day. That and James Bond. You know it. Spike Network, RIP. I think it's something else now. Esquire.
Spike is now the Paramount Network.
Really? Oh, shit. Well,
rest in peace.
Where's Esquire? That was a network, right? Or was that a short-lived thing?
I think Esquire's still a thing. I don't know where the fuck it is. But
TNT.
I did a little reading about this movie. We talked about this a lot with the first movie because I don't know. Fuck, maybe we didn't think we'd be going this strong still. But they basically use the same formula for all three movies, which is super interesting that they can actually keep it so fresh. And the second one, I mean, basically felt like the first movie. Kinda.
I thought it felt a little bit different because Marty's not trying to get back. He's trying to correct a mistake. That's the pressing matter.
Yeah.
Which I have an issue actually with it later in the movie, but we'll get to that.
I guess for formula, I just mean like so many things from the first one are woven into it. Like
that's what I love about this.
Yeah, I do too. That's why I'm saying. That's why I think it's so interesting that they kept it such a fresh movie with so many callbacks, like the Biff manure, all that shit. That's just one example. Stealing the guy's wallet, you know.
I think he took that guy's wallet.
I think he took your wallet, dude.
That's not in the first one, though, is it?
No. That's
yeah.
Pretty sure that's strictly the sequel. But here is a list of the things that Back to the Future got right about the future. So they were correct about the hoverboard. It is not necessarily purchasable right now, but they have created it. It only glides about 3 inches off the ground, but
That was Lexus, right? Made that?
Mondo, some company named Mondo, I think.
2015 was the year, by the way.
Yeah, which was damn near 3 years ago, which is kind of crazy to me that we celebrated Back to the Future Day 3 years ago. But yes, 2015. They correctly predicted flat screens, which is awesome that they saw that coming. 80s nostalgia coming back. Auto ordering food. You see that everywhere now. Applebee's, you have fucking tablets on your table. You don't even have to talk to anybody.
No shit.
Yep. Same with gas stations. They got hands-free gaming, right? Daniel Radcliffe mentioned that. He's like, it's a baby game. You have to use your hands. What the fuck? Let me see here. And the Cubs. They were a year late about the Cubs, but they did finally win a fucking whatever baseball players win. A grand slam.
Also, the Florida has a baseball team.
Yes, I saw that too. And
For the Marlins, he actually won. He's like, "What? The Cubs won against the Florida?"
and which
The
didn't
Marlins
exist
or
at the
Miami?
time.
Miami? Oh, I think he said Miami.
Yeah, he didn't call it by the Marlins, did he?
No, but I don't know where the fucking Marlins are, so I don't know anything about baseball.
I don't know sports.
It's America's
at
pastime.
You know what America's pastime is? Fucking cell phones, dude. Baseball is not a pastime.
Hey, we need to fucking move that predicts the Browns win the Super Bowl. That way, that gets fucking true.
Yeah, you wish, dude.
I feel like this is a good year for him. But I said that last year as well.
We'll
And the year
see.
before.
All I know is I'm supposed to talk shit about the Browns, I think.
Hey, well, kick out this movie right away. It takes place immediately. Not even immediately. It takes place 2 minutes before the end of the last movie. And Jennifer, Marty's love interest, is different. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess I never read anything about that. But she was recast and they reshot the scenes. And you actually look up on YouTube side-by-side comparisons of the different actresses working. Pretty good. They did a pretty damn good job. But they reshot the entire scene with her for these last couple minutes of the first movie.
Which really fucked me up because then, like, I feel like Marty's mom kind of started to look like those girls too when I was younger. Like, it confused the shit out of me what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I was confused as well, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why they did that to people. Especially
As
since
far as,
they
like,
were
hey-
fucking filming it at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know if they... Oh, no, this actually did come back out a few years later. So unless they delayed their release, this was a little bit...
A little bit
after.
later. Okay, I got you.
I'll look it up on IMDb because I think... So 85 is the first. So in 5 years, they released 3 movies, which isn't that much. So I guess there's that. When Back to the Future Part 2 come out?
Had it have been 80...
89. So 89, 90. So the last two came out back to back. But there was a 5-year difference between the first and when the second one.
No shit.
Or 4-year difference.
That's crazy. That's a weird fucking... Yeah. No. Yeah, a bunch of shit could have happened right there.
I wonder what happened. Yeah. So, but it's exactly like the last one. Like, we got to save your kids. This concerns her too. We got a jet. We got a blast. So they fucking peace out and they go back to the future. Now, I never realized how important this little shot here is where Biff comes out, tell Marty about the wax on his truck. This is actually maybe the most important part of it. This is the most important part in the whole movie, where 1985 Biff sees them leaving the DeLorean, and he says something like, flying DeLorean. And that is the domino effect of this entire movie, all because he ran out to put on the wax on the car.
And he saw that.
Or on the truck or something, yeah. Because he sees the DeLorean leave. And I guess we'll get to it. We have a space highway, which is where they basically apparate into, like in Harry Potter, where they flash back in. Also, it doesn't seem that safe. That he like, what happens if you go forward in time and you land inside of something? What happens? You just die or merge or something? What happens?
I think
Is this gonna be like some sort of thing with a fly? If Jeff Goldblum goes into the future and lands with a fly,
yeah, that's a good question. It fucking splits him right down the middle. I think it tears a hole in the space-time continuum. Time travel.
You gotta figure out all the microorganisms in the air.
Yeah,
All the bacteria.
you got to displace literally everything.
What's going on?
You're talking about when he lands in the future, right?
Well, this is like right when he they go into the future on the highway. Which, all right, so I'm gonna note here, they take a highway to get from Lyon Estates, which is where Marty lives, to Hill Valley, right?
Yeah.
That's like the settings of this movie. Now we don't know exactly how big this is. We could say it's like, I live in Columbus, and is this like downtown? It's really small though, so it looks like honestly like Kenton, and then if you're like on the outskirts of Kenton, it's not that long, but they take a highway. I'm not entirely sure why you're taking it's like a fucking flying freeway. I don't know. But they land. He has a watch that detects rain, which I feel is pretty cool. And here's one of the best.
Which we have.
One of the best. Yeah, we do have that. He detects it to the second. Here's one of my favorite things about this movie, and I never caught this before. He goes through a rejuvenation process, and he said he's wearing a mask so that way Marty recognized him, which I thought was real silly, but he peels off all the wrinkles on his face. And that's because he's supposed to be 1955 Doc age, and they put makeup on him for 1985 in the first movie because he had few scenes for that. But he spends this entire movie as himself, and instead of applying the makeup and him wearing makeup the entire time, I felt that's why they did this rejuvenation process thing, which if you watched it on TV you probably would have noticed, but when you watch it on Blu-ray and if you watch it in theater,
you can fucking notice.
You can tell, yeah, the makeup doesn't look great. So I felt like this is like a good director's choice to work around that instead of applying makeup and having it possibly look bad. I thought it was pretty cool.
I never realized that before.
It looked like he tore probably like his exact makeup that he would wear like on set for the first movie. They applied the makeup. All right, we want you to rip the makeup off and roll one piece too. So I thought that was a cool choice.
Yeah, it looked fucking sweet. And when I was a kid, that scene made no sense to me. And just recently, I'm starting to get that, and I think it was a good fucking choice.
It was cool. Yeah, I liked it.
He got all of his blood replaced, and he said spleen and shit.
I think he said it took off, or he gave him like 20 years back.
Yeah.
20 years of life or something like that. Yeah. So
shows he's doing the best with his time travel ability.
Yeah. Which we'll get into that later. So Marty's he's watching for his son, and he looks through his like binoculars. We see a chick with some big knockers, which I thought was kind of funny, and like the glasses like zoom in on these chicks' tits. I felt what was going on.
Yeah,
I don't know if like what was going on. I thought it was a little bit weird, but we have the auto lacing shoes, which are super famous.
Still,
the Nike Mags. You can buy a pair that look just like that without the laces for about. They all went for charity, so I think they're like 10 to 15,000 a piece.
I think they're Parkinson's charity.
Yeah, it was I think it was in 2015 maybe when the anniversary. Or not the anniversary, but yeah, I guess it was an anniversary because the movie came out in 85. So
yeah, it was Back to the Future Day.
Yeah, it might have been for that. So we got Goldie Wilson III. You know what's thinking about this? Descendants in this film series are basically clones. Because you have Marty and his son look exactly like each other, and his daughter. We'll get to that. Looks a lot like Marty. Goldie exactly Wilson III, Biff, Griff, and what's Biff in the past's name? Mad Dog Tanner.
Oh yeah,
Tanner.
Yeah.
They're all played the same. So like, man, they got a strong. A lot of male genes being passed directly with like zero influence from their mothers.
Yeah, literally some strong ass genes up in these families.
Strong fucking genes.
I actually noted like that's an incredible like coincidence that makes this story filmable kind of thing. Because Marty pretending to be his son, that would not have worked.
He also plays his daughter in drag. So.
That's just his daughter, dude. How dare you?
So we have Cafe 80s he's supposed to go to. He goes to the Cafe 80s, which, so in 1955, it was a cafe. 1985, it was a gym. Cool note, and Cafe 80s in 2015 is a gym / cafe where it looks like you're eating burgers and fries while riding on exercise bikes. And you get delivered by Michael Jackson, and I don't know if it was was it supposed to be Ronald Reagan on the TV?
Yeah, I think it was Ronald Reagan. He said something about America, Good Morning America. But it looked like Ronald Reagan to me. That wasn't really Michael Jackson either, though, right? That was just like...
It was Michael Jackson on TV.
I know, but...
It looked like a digital Michael Jackson.
Like a fake person they had act it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there, yeah. Some sort of weird face capture.
I really liked that, the 80s cafe, though. It was pretty sweet. Especially, like, they were addressing the obesity problem. Even when you're eating, you're fucking working out.
Yeah. They crushed it. They figured out what they're doing in 2015.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't get that.
We've got baby Elijah Wood playing a video game. And we have foreshadowing for Back to the Future 3, where Marty is apparently a fucking quick draw McGee.
Yeah.
And he crushes that video game that you were talking about where you have to use your hands. But he's like the fastest hand in the West. And
fucking smashed
Elijah Wood / Daniel Craig is a...
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe, yeah. Daniel Craig is actually baby Daniel Craig.
Tidy J's bod.
And Elijah Wood. Are all in this movie.
That was some foreshadowing, because apparently video game pistol skills translate to real pistol skills.
You're goddamn right. We should have played more Duck Hunt.
Yeah, we fucked up.
We'd all be fucking crushing it.
I could have been a cop.
We've got Griff and... Right? Oh, yeah, we got... Oh, what did I write down? I wrote something with Griff, but I think I was wrong about it.
Some of the the fucking things they were wearing were ridiculous, though. Elijah Wood had a spaghetti strainer on his head.
Is that what it was? Yeah. So I noticed a lot of the cars in the future are Ford Probes, I believe.
Really? They just added body kits on them?
Yeah, that's what a lot of the cars look like.
They look cool, but now that I look at it, it's just like I can see what they're doing. They're just hiding the back tires.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, yeah. Griff's voice, so Biff's grandson, Griff, he talks like a fucking the biggest idiot. He almost, if he hammed it up a little bit more, he'd almost win this movie.
He would what?
For his scenes are so like rough to watch. Griff scenes.
You think he would have ruined the movie?
Dude, he talks like it's super dumb. I don't know what was going on. They said something about the implant in his head. It's supposed to make him stupid.
Oh yeah.
Griff's an idiot.
He was all fucked up. He had like spinal implants and shit, and then like his hand would sense when danger's coming to stop punches.
Yeah, he has spidey sense.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Pretty cool. But we definitely
some sort of Black
got
Mirror
that one
shit
wrong.
going on.
Yeah. That was ahead of its time.
Hey, 10 years, dude. Hit us up.
Apparently, I wonder how like Griff's the only one that's like modified too. None of his nobody else in the whole series had anything like that.
Yeah, they didn't show anyone else. Sadly, we didn't spend too much time in 2015, but
that's true.
Probably for the better, because if you spent more time there, we're just like more and more dated or dumb.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you imagine watching this in 1989?
Oh, it blew my fucking dick off, and it still felt
how believable would it be?
Yeah, it would have been believable, because obviously now it's fun to watch it and see what we got wrong and right, because it's still like a fun thing to watch. But back then, you're like, ooh, this is the fucking future. This is what's next.
You know, my earliest memories of this movie are like, 96, 97, 98, something like that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I guess I had thoughts too. I was like wondering, man, are we going to have this?
Yeah.
Are we gonna have this shit?
Yeah, I was.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess. That's how old we are now. We actually saw the progression of this fucking movie because it came out about the time we were born. Fuck.
Yeah, and yeah, the year I was born was when the second one came out.
Yeah.
So we kind of repeat the entire diner scene from the original, and Biff sees this, and he's like, "Man, this looks fucking familiar," and he sees the whole thing go down. Biff decides to chase Marty. He gets chased into some water where his hoverboard doesn't work. They all tie up onto him so they can pull and like beat the shit out of this guy. They think it's Marty's son the entire time, so there's that. But it's crazy because like, all right, I got my jetpack one. So one of the girl in his squad, I don't know if it was the actual chick that they filmed or if she had a stunt double because she only has like 2 lines. So maybe it was the stunt double the whole time. But she hit a pillar during the scene and she got fucked up from it in real life.
Really? What?
Yeah, she
with her hoverboard.
She had some long lasting. Yeah, so when they crash and fly into the, so he was planning on fucking hitting with a bat, and because he missed with the bat, he flew into the pillars and crashed through the glass.
Yeah,
but the
clock
girl
tower.
actually got messed up. Yeah, she crashed into the pillar.
Oh,
she got messed. She has some like permanent, some big permanent issues from this. I'm not sure if she's like paralyzed or not, but
oh shit.
If you're out there listening,
hey, we're looking out for you. That was fucking 30 years ago. Get over it. I'm just kidding. Thank you for the entertainment.
Yeah.
I think 15 years was a little extravagant for busting through the clock tower, though.
What do you mean busting? 15 years bust through?
Because
15 years prison time?
Marty's son got 15 years incarcerated. And then I imagine that transferred over to Griff. We'll never really know, I guess. But
yeah. Probably something close. I mean, he did rob a bank, though. So
he robbed the bank?
It's probably more. They think they robbed a bank is what they were going to do.
Oh, Griffin. Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Shit. So,
and then
yeah.
Instead, they broke the clock tower and Griff went to prison. So
okay, yeah. Maybe that wasn't.
So years. The Cubs win. It's $100 to save the clock tower.
Used to be a quarter.
That's how much you're asking. Yeah, it was a quarter. So if you look at inflation, what they expected, $100 now. I mean, it's 2015 now. Inflation, thankfully, wasn't that bad, but
yeah,
I guess
thank God.
Tried to predict. I know. Yeah, I'll be like, I'm gonna make $2 million in a year.
No shit, a quarter
yeah.
From 19 or
I buy a beer and it's like $600.
Yeah, no shit. I didn't even catch that. That's crazy.
Yeah, $100 at a clock tower. The 4 probes.
Jaws 8. Or Jaws 5.
Biff in this movie. So we have old Biff. We have 2015 Biff, which is our original Biff from 1955. He got a lot smarter in his time. Because Biff seems like an idiot in 55, right?
Yeah.
2015 Biff, he fucking knows things. Because he sees the DeLorean fly away. And he's like, I haven't seen that in about 30 years. And he like puts it together. He's like, holy shit, this is a time machine. Like he figures it out right when he sees the DeLorean fly. And that's why that's so important earlier.
Yeah. And that was in the very first scene. Like,
so
Biff,
we've seen Biff. Yeah. It's the same day for everyone else, for Marty and the Doc and Jennifer. Biff, though, it's been 30 years for him. It's been, for everyone else, it's been what? Maybe like an hour tops.
Yeah. That's
30 minutes.
It's cool that they did that.
Yeah, if you think about it, we saw Biff, 30 years have passed between Biff's life. And everyone else has been like an hour, like 40 minutes. It's been like a lunch break.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I mean, he did what he had to do, though. He fixed some shit.
So, all because he saw the DeLorean earlier, he acknowledges and figures out that it's a time machine. So, that's why he follows them. Because Marty buys the almanac, the sports almanac. And she's like,
trying
hey,
to
I'm
make some paper.
Money, you know?
Yeah.
And Biff follows them. Biff's like sneaking around, trying to figure out like what's going on. And so they put Jennifer in the trash for some reason. I'm not sure why. I think this was like is an important plot point for the movie, I guess. But why was Jennifer in the trash? If you think about it,
What do you mean?
they could have left her in the car.
Oh,
Why'd they not leave her in the car?
Yeah.
They knocked her out and they put her in the trash.
Was the DeLorean
really-
still in the alley?
No, because he took the DeLorean when he was going to take care of Marty Jr. And he was supposed to knock Marty Jr. out, but he used some of the gas on Jennifer.
Which I never even
And
noticed that.
Which is why Marty Jr. showed up at the diner and caused this situation in the first place.
He only passed out for like a few seconds or like half
for
hour.
like half the time or whatever.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be passed out longer. I thought originally he was gonna like capture Marty Jr. and throw him in the DeLorean, but watching with this, with closer detail, they threw Jennifer in the trash basically just for plot.
Yeah.
Because I think when they're about to incinerate the almanac because Doc tells them, "Hey, this is you can't. I didn't make the DeLorean for making money off of. I made to explore the future." But if we go back to Doc, okay, you cheated death already once, and you've now cut off 20 years of your life.
Yeah, you've replaced your blood.
Replaced 20. Yeah. You've done a rejuvenation process.
Let me make some fucking money.
Yeah, why does he get to do that and Marty can't make a couple buck?
No shit. The
So
time
I was thinking,
machine
like, the
basically
morals.
made Doc a god. Like, let Marty live it out in his fucking time frame, you know?
Yeah, and why Doc choose this time exactly? I don't know. But I mean, he could go 3,000 years in the future, be like, hey, replace my heart with a robot heart, please. That lasts forever. Yeah, I'll take that.
Well,
Sure.
he went far enough in the future to find the Mr. Fusion for his gas instead of gas in the DeLorean or the fucking plutonium. He got the fusion.
That's so important for this movie too.
Yeah.
Because that was our biggest issue in the first one, and they completely erased it,
Which
which was good.
Yeah, no shit. Well, maybe Doc got smart. He's like, yeah, we're not going to spend a whole movie trying to find this shit now. Let me go to the future real quick.
Yeah. So yeah, Doc's morals. They go to Hillsdale, which I'm not sure if Hillsdale was mentioned before, but it's a trash place, basically. Because Jennifer gets taken by the cops. Biff gets the almanac, the sports almanac that was supposed to be destroyed. But because she got Jennifer, they got distracted by the cops. They didn't throw it away when they were supposed to. Jennifer gets taken to her home because they fingerprint her and realize that she had a facelift and she looks really good for her age. And so we have to take you home, girl. And Biff is like, oh shit, I'm going to take this because why did Marty want this? Why did Calvin Klein want this sports almanac? Of course, all because the time machine, he's going to bet, this is a great idea. I'm going to steal this idea. So when they take Jennifer home, as soon as they leave the car, Biff is like, I'm going to borrow this DeLorean real quick. And by real quick, I mean because it's a DeLorean, it's a time machine. So
It could be literally.
I could use it for 1 second.
Yeah.
As long as they don't show up inside myself, yeah, I'm good to go.
And Biff pieces the fuck out.
Biff is out like a trout.
Ballsy move, dude. But fuck,
It
let's
is.
see if it pays off.
Also, let's blame Marty though, because Marty leaves the DeLorean with the doors open. At least shut them.
we can blame this whole fucking movie on Marty.
We can blame every movie on Marty.
Most shit can be blamed on Marty. He's a little.
I mean, he
kid.
went and decided to fuck with his dad in the first one.
Yeah.
And then he decided to get a sports almanac, and then he left the door unlocked. Every situation comes back to Marty.
If you have a fucking time traveling DeLorean, lock the goddamn doors.
Lock the door.
What the fuck?
Why?
I lock my
Why do you
doors.
leave the door open? Shut the door.
I have a
How about
Hyundai
that?
Elantra.
Shut the door.
I lock my doors.
I have a 2004 Honda Element. I fucking lock the door every time I leave it.
I have an 81 Civic. I lock the doors.
This is an 81 Honda.
How dare you? Yeah, so Marty spent a good chunk of his life just being a little piece of shit. But I like this scene where Marty's boo goes back to the household of the McFlys. Very cool scene, and it shows them in the future, but living in like a really shitty, broke version of the future, you know?
Yeah, because this nice home place is dog shit. And also, one of the important parts of this is the door is fingerprint scan. And so the whole reason she gets in the house, so she's like passed out still. She's like basically like drugged. And the cops took her finger and used it to unlock the door. And it worked because, she has the same fingerprint. But if it was a key or something, it wouldn't work, or some sort of, say people use some sort of like a credit card to like swipe to unlock your door.
Yeah.
But because it's a fingerprint, it's actually a really important choice that they made, I think, for her to get into the house and to create this scene. So props to them for doing that.
Yeah, it was smart. It was a smart choice. And
if you think about 1985, that was probably pretty crazy, right?
Yeah. But now, totally a thing.
Totally a thing, yeah.
My favorite thing that they had in the broke McFly future house was the Pizza Hut pizza being hydrated. I thought that was so fucking cool when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously pretty easy to like pull off on screen. They just had somebody put a bigger pizza in there. But like the idea was pretty fucking cool.
What's the line? You sure can hydrate a pizza, Ma.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked I guess that was the younger Marty. How the fuck did he get home? Or that's Marty's son.
Marty Jr. woke up.
Right. And then he came
and was doing his thing.
He came to the 80s cafe. How did he get back to Hilldale?
He got home somehow.
Yeah.
He woke up like immediately during the situation, like right, because he actually bumped into old Biff.
Yeah.
At the same time that old Biff was seeing Marty, and was kind of putting it together.
Yeah. Fucking old Biff.
And so Jennifer though hears like a very important conversation about Marty being called yellow, or chicken.
Yeah.
And how Marty ruined his entire life by crashing into a Rolls Royce, breaking his hand, can't play guitar. And then we also, it's like a new thing that they added. I think this was never referenced in the first movie, right?
This wasn't in the first movie?
Yeah, this whole chicken thing.
That's what I'm starting to see, yeah. I think they did it for Back to the Future 3, maybe.
It's a huge part of Back to the Future 3, but so I guess, yeah, so we get the first bits of that, this whole yellow thing where Marty is easily manipulated into doing stupid shit by simply calling him chicken or yellow.
Which is such a fucking character flaw.
Comically easy, yeah. So, yeah.
What the fuck?
So, hey, Marty, do this fucking heroin. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, you fucking chicken? Oh, nobody called me chicken. Dude, give me all the heroin you got. I'll fucking do it all.
So Marty overdosed because
I'll do all the heroin.
Somebody called him yellow.
Marty, eat this fucking bucket of bees. You fucking chicken? Fuck you, dude. I'll eat all those bees. I will eat every bee.
He's basically just a yes man. Like Doc.
I know.
Doc could be like, hey, Marty, me and the wife are going to want to have a threesome year in. He's like, no. He's like, why, are you chicken or yellow? It's like, fuck. Okay, I guess.
Fuck, I'll fuck you and your wife.
You want me to fuck Einstein too? Shit.
I'll fuck Einstein. Nobody calls me chicken.
That was a weird decision. I don't know why that showed up either. But, I mean, it fucked him up a lot in this movie. A few things happened because of that in this movie.
So, yeah, we hear this important conversation, though, and it also foreshadowing, I guess, for the third movie. It's almost like they filmed the third movie, and then they went back. Or now we're going to film the second one, and we're going to make references to the third one because we already have it figured out.
Yeah.
And honestly, it'd be easier.
Kind of cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Just work backwards and Back to the Future.
Yeah, and then so like this whole Marty gets called chicken though. He was part of some sort of a sting operation with his boss. We're not entirely sure what he did, but Needles tricks him basically, and his boss, he gets fired. He says it's a joke though. And then we get Biff. Biff returns back. Biff's back from the future. Right in time when they're dragging out. Because Jennifer sees herself. Jennifer shows up at her own house, and
they fucking see each other pass out.
They see each other pass out. I'm not entirely sure why they passed out, but
Because neither one of them were prepared for that.
But she knew she was gonna be there, right?
Yeah, maybe, but like it was just like overwhelming for her.
I guess, yeah. I didn't think it made too much sense, but
I think I would have passed out.
because Doc sees himself, his future previous self, and Marty sees his previous self in this movie.
Yeah, but
and
they're
doesn't pass out.
they're fucking time travelers.
I guess, yeah, that's true. I guess, yeah, they've already time traveled once.
This is literally
this one.
this is their second rodeo.
So we see Biff return though. Biff took the DeLorean. He broke his cane, which is very important from the movie. He's like fucked up. I don't know. He's not good. We see he's not the best driver at his age currently, because he's like backing into trash cans and shit. He's just kind of bumping into things with his DeLorean. And then they're like, all right, well, we got Jennifer back. The papers changed. Your kids are good to go. Done deal, right?
Also, this is where it gets kind of confusing because Biff going back in time would have kind of erased the whole current timeline that Marty and Doc were in.
Yeah.
Right? You know? But I don't even know. I can't really think too hard about that because I'll lose consciousness.
Go a little bit forward, but the fact that Biff can return after changing the events of 1955 doesn't make sense if you think about it.
It doesn't make sense because it would almost make...
Because at that point, he created a new timeline.
Right. According to
and they said,
how they say it.
Yeah.
The second you change time, you veer off into a separate timeline.
So that means Biff would have, in 1955, by giving the almanac and creating the events of 1985, he would have been able to return to you could say our B timeline of 2015, because our A timeline had been erased originally because we already changed the future once. We changed 1985, so then we went to B timeline, which is where the future was, where they went to the 2015. Then we go back to 1985, and we're now in a C timeline. And the whole purpose of the rest of this movie is to restore back to the B timeline that was created in the first movie.
And somehow Biff creates the C timeline, and stays in B.
Yeah, Biff creates C, goes to B, and they even explain this in like a couple, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that you can't go forward into this timeline and change anything. Like I don't know.
Shit.
Plot hole, I guess, right?
I guess, dude. I can't think about it too hard. I'll fucking black out.
Hill Valley Line Estates. All right, hey, we're back. We just took a quick beer break. I'm drinking Jackie O's Champion Grounds. Not infected. Apparently, a lot of people have infected beers. Some of the Jackie O stouts. I have not had a single Jackie O's beer be infected. This was once referred to as a trash panda beer because it was just a bunch of shit they had laying around, and then they add bourbon to it, and it came out to be one of my favorite stouts from Jackie O's. So, Jackie O's, you're doing good stuff.
What's infected? And Jackie O's, yes, very delicious.
So you get like infected yeast. Oh shit! Hit my mic. You get infected yeast, and it adds. The yeast goes. You like a wild yeast strain of the beer, and it creates a sour taste. Like make you pucker sour, like that sour, and it's not intended, so it's not good for the beer.
I gotcha.
It's not just Jackie O's. There's actually been several breweries that have issues with it. I guess some yeast strains are really fucking wild. So if you get, and they're hard to get rid of too. So you can have issue. It's been associated with is it canning process, brewery process, but I've never had a infected Jackie O's beer. I've had infected Goose Island beers.
Really?
Which cost me $15 a piece, and I had to dump it down the drain. So.
Oh fuck! I would ask for my money back, bro.
They gave a refund, is the thing.
Oh.
So the beers were sold on Black Friday. They discovered that there was a infection issue in like January, or at least they acknowledged it, like a mass infection issue. They gave refunds up until March of that year. And the funny thing is, though, on your bottles, it says, keep this beer for up to 5 years and drink it, over the course of that time, So these beers are meant to be kept in a cellar and drank over time.
Really? No shit.
It's a dot, yeah. And I think it's funny that you give people 4 months to drink a beer, and but it says 5 years on the bottle. It just made me mad a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess they got it covered. I'm not sure if they had it. This is last year, so
You would have had to be aware of it pretty early to kind of get your money back.
Or you want to crack your bottles open too. So
Yeah.
which I don't buy the beer and immediately crack it up and drink it.
You
know,
keep
this
it.
beer I'm drinking right now might be like at least 6 months old. Could be a year old that I've had it. So
Yeah, that's called self-control, kids. Not a lot of people have that. I drink my whole goddamn stash. A beer I've been fucking with a lot. It's called Juice Bigelow. A lot of people don't say it's super good.
I like the name.
Yeah, it's a good beer. It's $5 and it's fucking. I dig it. It's from Rochester Mills. Juice Bigelow.
Oh, yeah, I know them. Yeah.
Do you know Rochester Mills?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. How do you feel about Rheingeist?
Oh, they do some pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I just went to a takeover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything like super. So Mad Tree in Cincinnati, I think, does better stuff, but
I like Truth
yeah.
IPA if I'm trying to get fucked up.
Truth is a solid, good, cheap IPA.
Yeah,
And
8%.
yeah, if you want to get fucked up too, it will get you fucked up.
Mm-hmm. 2 truths and you're feeling pretty good.
2 truths, dude.
2 truths.
2 truths and a lie.
You're telling the truth.
Yeah, shit. That's what they call that.
All right, so we just showed up in Hell Valley, and all shit is broken loose, dude.
We're at Line Estates, and Line Estates is dog shit again, which, if you remember, in 1985 original Timeline A, it wasn't great. Timeline B, it was not bad.
It was pretty fucking great.
It's pretty great, yeah. Timeline C now, it is like bottom of the fucking barrel dog shit. It's like just super crime ridden. 55 or Timeline A, it wasn't that bad. Like it was bad, but it wasn't bad.
Like
so it's dog
small
shit,
amount of graffiti here and there, trash and stuff. But in Timeline C, it's
the fucking hood.
Drive-bys, shot. The principal has a shotgun. The school's been burnt down. There's fire. It's crazy.
The city is ruined. Yeah, I think probably they're like the entire city is shit, not just Line Estates. Yeah, Biff ruined an entire town by gambling and his the money. I think he created like a nuclear facility at one point.
Yeah,
I think it said, but they show up and the courthouse has been converted into a giant casino. Biff Tanner's Paradise Palace, I think is what it's called.
Trump Tower.
Trump Tower, yeah, that's a proper name. Yeah. Also, he's got a Trump haircut too.
Yeah,
I never thought
he does, yeah.
Trump is Trump been styling his hair off of fucking Back to the Future?
I think he has, because Biff had it first. Who wore it better? Biff.
Hashtag Biff, Trump, we want to see you paying royalties to Robert Zemeckis.
Biff,
yeah,
Biff basically did what Trump did, though. Like, it's the story of Trump.
Yeah, he gambled his way?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Biff at least had to do some initial gambling.
Yeah.
Trump just had a small loan.
Yeah. Get it together, Trump. A small $1 million loan.
Small $1 from your dad.
I wish I had a fucking $1 million loan.
I thought you were going to say dad, but...
I might have been. Oh, shit. So,
too soon.
Yeah, too soon. Sorry. Yeah, so Biff is a cunt, and he fucking ruined everything.
Ruined the entire town, dude.
And it's a goddamn nightmare. But Marty's kind of like bam-shuckled, you know? Bim-fuckled. He's like, what in the freaking heck?
What in tarnation?
What, Doc? Also, Doc left Doc left Marty a little bit too early. Like they landed and he's like, okay, Marty, just see ya, dude. Got to catch up with Einstein.
Hey, so if you think about it, though, there's no way they could change the past by messing with the future. So there's no reason to believe for them to think that anything could be wrong.
This is like the one situation that they could have fucked up the past by going to the future, which they did.
Well, but they didn't know. They have no clue that the time machine was used.
Right.
So, the fact that they leave Jennifer on her porch, I thought was a bit. They just left her on the porch. But I mean, I guess if you think about it, they just left her some trash like 15 minutes before that. So,
I think what you and I need to come to terms with is that nobody cares about Jennifer in this movie.
why is she a character?
She's a piece of cargo.
And also, yeah, she is a.
Why is she in this movie?
She isn't. Yeah, she's an interesting character because she doesn't. She honestly doesn't serve a purpose for any of these movies, right?
No, she serves zero purpose. She's honestly the only reason she would make sense in this movie was to be an observer when Marty was away from the future, so we could see two different sides of the future. Yeah,
or the biggest purpose she serves is in the first film when she writes her number down for. We discussed an odd reason because she was already dating Marty. But she writes her number down on the Save the Clock Tower poster. That is her entire purpose in this entire film series.
Yeah.
Her character is, why? Like, what?
What the
what is
fuck?
going on?
Yeah. Fuck her character.
Oh, also, we'll mention, too, George McFly was replaced in this movie. Donald Glover is the actor that plays him. He was replaced. He sued someone associated with this movie and won. And because they used his likeness, they couldn't come to agree. They didn't want to pay him what he wanted, and so that's why he is. They show him upside down, with makeup on as someone else plays him, and then I think they shot a couple angles and used some extra footage to make it look like he was in this movie. But he did not shoot anything in Back to the Future 2 or 3. And they lost the lawsuit. So,
and it totally looked like he was in those movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking shame he wasn't in them. They're iconic films. What the fuck, Crispin?
Yeah, give him a fucking. Oh, I said Donald Glover, didn't I? Crispin Glover. Yeah.
Oh, did you? I didn't even catch it.
Yeah.
This is America.
Oh yeah. So at the don't catch me slipping. We see at the casino, we see Mad Dog Tanner as one of Biff's descendants. And that is also a lot of foreshadowing for Back to the Future 3 in this movie.
And nobody would have noticed that.
So, what's his name? Biff's goons knock Marty out on top of the head with a gun. Concussion. First off right there. Concussion's in movies, not a big deal. In real life, that's a big deal. Don't just knock someone out on the head with a gun and think it's going to be like an okay. If you watch Lost, understand that the concussion's there. Those people are fucking brain dead by the end of the series. Because
does that happen? Does that happen a lot?
Dude, those characters get 2 concussions an episode.
Oh shit! It's like a requirement.
Dude, they get fucked.
Oh shit!
There's probably 100 concussions in that, and it's like knocked out for several hours.
And this goes the same for vases. Lamps, just don't hit anybody in the head because it's not as easy as it looks in the movies.
If you watch a boxing match and you realize that if they don't wake up in a minute, then like doctors are getting concerned. But in the movies, people get knocked out for like hours on end. It's fucking no.
Like Marty was asleep for 2 hours.
Marty's asleep for a bit. So Marty gets brought up, and we get like a throwback to the scene of him waking up in 1955, where his mom is talking to him. He's like, "Oh, Ma, I had a terrible dream." And, oh, shit, the 27th floor. What?
Yeah, the good old 1955, good old 27th floor.
I like it.
Yeah, direct callback to the first one. And he had to still try not to fuck his mom. Because this time she showed up with big, fat, sweet tits.
And she's got him just hanging out, too.
And he even noticed.
And he looks at it. That's the first thing he looks at, too.
He's like...
He doesn't even notice. He knows tits, and then knows it kind of looks like his mom.
Yeah. He's like,
you're so...
big.
You're so... That's a throwback, too. The first scene, right? Where he's like, you're so hot.
Yeah, yeah. But this time he said, you're so... I think he says big, right? I don't
know if he finishes the word.
I don't remember what he said, but basically he said, "You got some big fucking tits, mom." Hey, sick tits, mom. Like, that's basically what he said.
Sick tits, babe. So Lorraine married Biff. I'm not entirely sure why. She gives a reason why she stays with Biff.
The money, bro.
But why did she marry Biff in the first place?
She looked pissed. She looked biffed off.
Yeah, they showed video of her wedding, and she was unhappy on the wedding day, and Biff was being all rapey like he is. And yeah, let's acknowledge in this timeline, Biff did try to rape her.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah. We learned that later.
And she's an alcoholic, so maybe like she just didn't value herself. I don't know.
Well, after George died, she probably like didn't have a way to make money or anything. So
Biff was her best fucking choice. Fuck, man.
Well, he's the richest dude in Hill Valley. Fuck. I'd fuck Biff.
He's obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I'd fuck Biff. So shit goes down. He's like, "Hey, you gotta be gone." He finds out his dad died. His dad was murdered. He goes to the gravestone. Doc says like, "Hey, I figured I'd find you here. Shit be going down, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, shit be going down."
Yeah.
He's like, he took the fucking almanac. I found this cane inside the car.
Shit's going down.
He took the almanac here. We gotta figure out what happened. And he's like, "I'll figure it out." So he goes and confronts Biff. Biff is in the hot tub with two babes, and he's watching
Dirty Harry.
Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah.
Is it Dirty Harry? Is that the one?
I think so.
So we have the scene where he gets shot, and he has a metal plate under his poncho, and we have more foreshadowing for Back to the Future 3, because this is like maybe one of the biggest reveals or plot points of the movie, right?
Yeah, and fucking cool as shit.
Super cool, yeah. So I think Marty saw this and got the idea from this scene here.
Yeah, that's badass.
I think that, yeah. And I love this. They go through the whole shit where he's like, I killed your dad. And I was told, for some reason, Biff gives him an entire explanation on, like, a very detailed explanation on how he made his fortune and when he got the magazine. And
because
I don't know,
because Marty should know that by then. But
yeah,
it was cool. He's like, he was like briefed that Doc and Marty would show up. He's like, I just never thought it was you. So in this timeline, Doc and Marty apparently weren't friends. I mean,
yeah, I guess maybe so. Yeah, something. Oh no, I think Doc was in the insane asylum, right?
Yeah, I guess we don't know what year that happened, but yeah, which is.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, Doc is pretty fucking crazy.
So they go on the roof. He tells them to jump. He jumps. He jumps on the car. They hit Biff in the fucking head with the car, and they're like, all right, we gotta go. And I love the slide. He's like, you won't believe this. We have to go back to 1955. And Doc's like, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. And so they said that there's something about this point, October or November 2nd or whatever it is, 1955, that this point in history, this lightning strike, is important for like
this universe.
There's something about the universe is tying these different timelines or something. This part in history is important, at least in this context.
Yeah. Well, you know why? I bet because Biff probably didn't really know how to use the time machine, so he just went back to what was left on there. It was the third one, the previously used past.
Third, but yeah, I was wondering too. Is that when he was at, or because I mean he went to 2015 or 1985, and then Doc at least went to past. Doc at least went to another date. So I don't think that works out. Because he went past October 26th because he had the paper from the date the next day. And saw what happens. He saw all the shit that happens from that point. Then he went to 1985 to pick up Marty because he couldn't do it himself. And then he went all the way back to
1985.
Or 2015 again. So he's done at least a few trips. So.
Okay, I got you.
So we gotta go back to 1955. we got to check out Hot Lorraine again.
Yeah.
But we don't see Hot Lorraine in this timeline.
It doesn't show her?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
We see her she's got a couple shots, but I think it's mostly just reused shots. But it's so cool. So this is why I love this movie so much, is that we go back to 1955 and because this is when the almanac was delivered. And I love how they tied in and they created different angles, and we kind of see what other characters are doing in this movie in 1955. And so, like, I think one of the first scenes that we see is so they land at, I guess, I don't know where they land. Did they land at Lion Estates again?
When they came to 55?
Yeah, they land at Lion Estates, right?
They parked behind that billboard again.
Yeah, behind the. Oh yeah, he's like, it's like I was just here yesterday. He's like, you were here yesterday.
God damn it!
And
you were.
And so we see Biff trying to get his like car fixed. He's like, $300 damage to my car. He's like, if I find the guy, I'm fucking kill him. First off, $300 to fix a car. That might have been a new car in 1955, right? I'm not entirely sure what inflation was, but I've heard stories you could buy like a Mustang back then for like $1,000. So like 1955, $300. It might have well been like $6,000 of damage to his car.
Yeah, it was
and
fuck
Biff is
ton
paying
of
that
money.
like out of pocket. I like how Biff said though, he's like, the guy that caused this damage to my car. Oh, you mean when you tried to murder that guy? Like, I never talked about this before, but yeah, when you tried to murder that guy that caused damage to your car? No, Biff, get your shit together. So we're back to
Biff is fine with murder.
Yeah.
He never gave a shit about that.
Biff is talking about how he's like, I'm gonna marry you, Lorraine. He's being all kind of like grabby with Lorraine again.
This time, way worse than normal. Even her friend freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, they're like on the street. Biff is just, and so Biff grew up with his grandma, so he didn't have a parent. So I guess he kind of blamed like, did Biff have like a terrible childhood because of this whole like upbringing? Like what occurred?
Yeah.
For old Biff.
Nothing.
You got to figure like Biff was probably born like 42, probably.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's probably like 18, right? So the next movie takes place in 85. That's Biff's grandpa, I assume, right?
In
1885.
Oh yeah, Mad Dog or whatever.
It's probably, so Biff had a dad, or Tanner, Mad Dog Tanner had a kid who I assume didn't have a dad, who maybe took that and decided not to raise his kid as well. And that's why Biff has to live with his grandma. But he's not redeemable. I mean, he's a piece of shit. He's just obsessed with, he's like a weird neckbeard. He's like a bully jock neckbeard character.
Yeah.
In this movie.
He's a piece of shit. And I've known people that live with their grandmas, they're fine. So, Biff, you are not redeemed.
Fuck your couch, Biff. Like, you have no redemption qualities.
Nothing.
They said that they're going to change the timeline, and when they're trying to go back to 1955, the clock flickers on January 1st, 1885. He's like, I gotta fix that. I gotta get that fixed. Foreshadowing again, but honestly, like if you're flying a time machine, I would not let anything be like on the fritz and like put it off.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm gonna fix that right fucking now.
I should fix that today.
This is a time machine.
I should fix that today. I should stop everything and fix it.
This is a very delicate piece of hardware that I'm dealing with. This is a time machine. Yeah. It's not like when like a light bulb goes down, I'm like, I'll get that, and like I'll get that eventually. Next time I'm at the store.
Yeah.
No, dude. If something's broken in my time machine, I'm fucking like as soon as it breaks, I'm like, hold up, I gotta fix this.
It's literally the fabrics of the universe.
Yeah. I'll put a Band-Aid on it.
We'll get back to it, Marty.
Put a piece of tape on that. We'll get it. So Jen is in 1985, and they're 1955 now. And they're like, if we change time, then time will change around her, and I'm not sure how that works.
No, they describe that is not how it works. Doc basically just didn't tell Marty that he's killing his girlfriend and just replacing her with a new one.
But he already killed her and replaced her.
The second they
that
left.
day.
The second they left.
Well, no, but the original, because that was in timeline B. So
Right.
she's not even the original Jen. So she's already been replaced once in 24 hours.
Honestly, this is a reoccurring thing.
That's why she looks different.
There we go. It was a whole different universe. That's what this is. This is a reoccurring thing that happens in Rick and Morty. They just keep finding suitable universes. That's what's happening. Yeah.
Honestly, almost, yeah.
Basically. Fuck Jennifer.
Yeah,
anyways.
This is a little ripple in time where Jennifer is left on the porch, but like she'll be fine. Time will warp around her.
Yeah. What if Marty's like,
no sense.
Doc, you just described me on a chalkboard. You wrote in chalk. That is not how time works.
And this is why I thought too, that the whole like how was why was Biff able to go back to the original 2015 after he changed 1955, and that he should have been able to do that. So, and also too, all right, so,
What were you?
all right, well, so we had a technical issue, but we're talking about, so Biff goes to 1955 to deliver the almanac,
Right.
but we saw at Paradise Palace that he didn't use the almanac until 1958. Roughly 3 years later. They didn't have to go back to this exact date. They have a 3-year timeline almost of any date they could have picked to be able to get this almanac back and save the world. Even if, too, say Biff made his first bet. Biff probably had $10 to his name when he made that first bet. What's he have, like $10,000 maybe, if it's like some sort of crazy odds that he bet on? They've got some time to get this book back, I feel like. Plus, there's 2 of them, and they have access to space weapons. They could break into Biff's house. Say he puts it in a safe. I'm sure they could probably get some sort of laser that just cuts through safes like fucking butter. They can turn trash into a nuclear fuel. So
Yeah.
they don't need to go back to 1955 to get the almanac back. But it makes it for a better story.
Yeah, I think it would have been, well, one, they were freaked out about the 1985 that they came home to, so they probably didn't even, think at all. They're like, fuck, we got to go back to that day that he did it on.
You mean Doc that made a time machine didn't have time to think about it?
Right,
Come on,
right,
man.
yeah, I guess you're right.
He's a super smart guy.
Yeah, he should have fucking thought about it. I didn't even notice
They had
that.
time to think
Fuck,
about. Yeah,
3
they could have
years.
gone to any. They had a 3-year timeline. They could have gone to Biff's house when he was like, because Biff mistreated the almanac, at least for this first day, pretty well.
He didn't
He
care
doesn't have a
about
safe
it.
though. We know that. We know he doesn't have a safe. How about this? Give Marty a fucking gun. I mean, how about that? That
Yeah.
movie solved. Give Marty a fucking gun. Biff, give me the fucking almanac. Unlock the garage. Or is the garage even locked? All right, Biff, stay there. I'm gonna shoot in the fucking leg. Oh, it's me, Calvin Klein. What up?
Yeah.
Try to tell someone because they're not gonna believe you.
He could have gotten scotch-free. Just shoot Biff in the leg. Or fuck.
Shoot Biff in the leg.
Wait until that night when he goes to sleep and just, I don't know, chloroform him. Or use that the thing you had on Jennifer.
Use the knockout thing.
You have
Jesus.
You have a knockout thing. For Christ's sake.
You got the fucking stick from Men in Black.
Literally.
So I thought that was kind of funny.
Better story. Plot shit.
So Marty gets locked in the garage for like several hours. The car leaves. Doc shows up on the bicycle like right after that. And then Biff's driving. He just throws the magazine on the fucking dash. Which I thought was kind of weird.
Because it's a drop top, too.
I think it's because Biff is just a little bit... He's still stupid at this time.
Yeah.
Biff doesn't get smart until, 30 years later. Or 60 years later. At this point.
Makes you wonder what happened to him to make him buck up a little bit.
Maybe all the fumes from the car washing and waxing
Yeah.
made him more intelligent. I don't know. So, Doc Brown helps himself which is kind of weird.
which was in the first movie, but
It was.
it never showed.
It wasn't. Oh,
I don't think.
you sure? I'm not sure if there was any. I think that was all added in afterwards. I don't think anyone helped him out in the first movie.
Really?
Could be wrong, but he has this weird conversation where no normal person would have, where you can't see the other person ever because they're on the other side of a post.
Yeah.
That's not normal human behavior.
It'd make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, it'd be super weird to not see someone's face. Yeah.
Still pretty cool. I hope there's something that connects it to the first one.
It's a cool scene though. Yeah. I hope there is, but I don't think they were far along enough with these movies. You know, maybe the first movie wasn't expected to be successful or not.
Yeah.
But they have, obviously have a ton of foreshadowing for the third movie.
Yeah. So they learned their lesson.
Mm-hmm. Then Principal Strickland, he steals the magazine from Biff. Biff's like, hey, he's like, you drinking alcohol? He's like, I wouldn't know. Like, I don't know what alcohol tastes like because I am underage.
Yeah.
Although I think you could buy beer in 1955 at the age, I assume he was 18 maybe he was 17, I don't know. But you used to be at least, depending on state by state, I think, but you could buy beer at 18.
So yeah, he was probably young for his grade.
Maybe. Biff was probably old. Biff was probably a failed student, right? If you think about it.
Yeah.
Biff was probably like 19 or 20 in high school still.
So maybe he was just being a smartass.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then if you were 21, you could buy hard liquor. So I think it's a lot of states at least worked.
Yeah.
You could buy a lower percent alcohol beer.
Maybe that's why Strickland didn't fucking take him to the office for obviously being drunk, because he legally could purchase it.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. And Strickland's not a cop. But Strickland takes the magazine. He's like, oh, sports almanac, right? You think he would have noticed a little bit? He'd be like, oh, this says 1950 to 2000. That's way in the future.
Yeah.
I'd be a little suspicious of that. Now, it's a Ooh La La magazine, so maybe it's just because it's like a lingerie magazine.
Right. Well,
maybe
this was some pretty great foreshadowing too within this movie. When Marty was buying the sports almanac, the woman was talking about the cover on it, and she's like,
"Oh, I didn't think about that.
This used to be before they made dust-proof paper." So yeah, very early foreshadowing on that.
It is, yeah. I didn't think that of foreshadowing. I just thought it was a weird thing that they mentioned.
Yeah.
Man, look at me not picking up stuff.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. I'm on fire. But it was Ooh La La, like a porno magazine.
It was like a lingerie, like Betty Ford or whatever her name was.
Betty Page.
Betty Page, yeah. It was so he's like looking at their spiking. He saw it earlier, and then if you actually in the Blu-ray, you can tell that that's what it is when he's spiking the punch. But I feel like if you're watching like VHS back in the day, you would have not been able to tell that that's what he saw.
What do you mean?
I think just the quality. So when he's spiking the punch, he's looking at the almanac.
Oh.
And he has the cover swapped though at that point.
Okay.
For some reason, Biff is just a big pervert where like he has to look at like porn like right when he's around like everyone, like in public. So
yeah, so that was a weird move. He was just sitting there in public reading porno.
And the fact that he's carrying so older Biff told him to carry the almanac on him, like rolled up in your pocket like this. That's a bad idea, I feel. Like, I don't know. I thought like,
and older Biff's aware.
He doesn't have a safe,
right? Keep it on you. No, put it in your shed out back. And older Biff is well aware that there's two time travelers that might be after him, like immediately.
Yeah. Fucking bury it underground. What if Biff got it and then he went in his backyard and buried it? Marty would have never found it. They would have to go get the time machine and go back again and try not to run into three of themselves and try to figure out what happened to it. They would have to like scope out Biff for like days.
It would have gotten way darker of a movie because they would have had to, 1, scope him out, or 2, double up on time travel, or 3, straight up torture Biff and figure out where the fuck the book was.
Shit out of Biff, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waterboard him.
So, Strickland, though, took the magazine. Marty sneaks into his office, which I feel is very unrealistic. Even as a kid watching this, I was like, how does he not know that someone snuck in and is like under his desk?
He wasn't even
And
listening to music or anything.
Yeah, he smashes into Marty's fingers. Yeah, there was like opposite noise, and Marty, I don't know. I thought it was weird. He throws the magazine in the trash, so Marty's like, "Oh, dude, fucking got it, score, crushed it." Oh shit. He's like, and this is honestly one of my favorite movies. This is my favorite line in the whole entire movie. The whole film series maybe is "Ooh la la." He's like, "Ooh la la,
Ooh la la." Yeah.
And
he's got that. He's using that iconic Marty voice. Ooh la la. Very scratchy.
Yeah, it's a very Michael Fox.
Yeah. Yeah, but
so we've got
he just got straight up duped there.
So we've got he's like, "Oh guys, like Biff got the magazine." He's talking to Doc on the radio, and Doc's like, "I'm gonna be at the school in 1 minute or something like that, or a couple of minutes." He's like, "I don't know, we're supposed to find Biff," and then you hear in the background he said, "Are you okay?" Where George punched Biff and knocked him out.
Yeah, you can actually see it in the background.
So this is where I wrote down a lawsuit, because I feel like this might have been one of the moments that was like, if I was like a lawyer, this would be one of the distinguishing moments of like the lawsuit of
Crispin
Glover. Yeah, old Crisp.
I actually saw him at the dance. Like I saw like an actual shot of him from the first movie at the dance.
That's why I think that was probably footage from the first movie.
Right, which is still like suable,
Or unused footage, yeah. So I was thinking of the "Are you okay?" scene from like, because they used the audio probably, edited it, and then they filmed someone else from a distance.
Yeah.
So you also have the scene from 2015 where he's upside down and old. So
there's definitely some fuckery.
So he goes to perform CPR, and I thought it was funny. He's like, "What's CPR?" Because CPR wasn't fitted at this point.
Right, I noticed that too, which I didn't even know that.
I knew it, but I forgot it. I listened to a Radiolab podcast, and they talked about the invention of CPR.
Really? No shit.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And he's like, "He took that guy's wallet."
I think he took a wallet.
I think he took that guy's wallet. What? It's like a weird scene or line to do, but I love it. It's so great because he takes.
It's so out of it, like it's honestly for comedic purposes because they even like zoom in on his face and he like says it to the camera like, "I think they took his wallet." Like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
So this is when I'm not entirely sure what is going on at this point in the movie because they are after. Why are they after Calvin Klein and gonna assault him?
Who?
Maybe I wasn't playing close enough. So
Biff and his boys.
the goons.
Biff and the goons.
Biff's boy. Biff's goons. Why are they after Marty? Or Calvin Klein, and we could say at this point.
Fuck. I don't remember.
Because
he fought fucking Biff like 1,000 times. So.
Well, I mean, he's had 2 run-ins, I guess, with Biff. Are they after him because of the money for the car?
Oh yeah, I bet that's what it is.
He does that sort of weird move where he has the magazine, he bumps into all 3 of them, and they all fall. And they're after him, and then they see him on stage. So at this point, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna fuck this dude up as soon as he gets off stage." This is why he has to stick around, which I never caught before. This is the whole reason that they stick around for while we have this like 3rd act of the movie, is because if they stop Marty from getting back to the clock tower because they basically kill him because these guys are all psychopaths.
Literal murder.
Doc acknowledges that there'll be like a paradox where Marty can't go back to 85 and shit be fucked up.
Right.
So
they had it.
Actually create a paradox.
I don't even know.
Well,
I don't even know.
I guess Marty, Back to the Future 2 Marty would have never gone back, but he hasn't done anything really significant, has he? In 1955 at this point? So I'm not sure if he created a paradox.
This is the very this is him about to leave 1955.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what would happen. I mean, 1985, Marty would have never gotten there. But I think just 1985 Marty Back to the Future 1 would have just been trapped in 1955 for the rest of his life.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that's probably just the way it would have happened.
I'm gonna need it.
I'm not sure. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I'm gonna need pen and paper. I'm gonna fucking figure this out.
I had to look at the timeline and see like what actions did Marty do on his second trip to 1955.
We should see if this is a thing on YouTube, like the actual physics and like continuity of Back to the Future's time travel. And if not, we'll make our own, like a really shitty version of it. Obviously,
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it.
So I mean, Marty, he's doing his solo Johnny Be Good that we talked about was terrible. He's probably listening to himself. He's like, man, I'm fucking really crushing it.
Definitely
he's not good.
Yeah.
He crawls up top into the top of the stage, drops the bags on the guys' heads, and like crushes them. And then he kind of jumps down, kind of Indiana Jones style, with the bags, and he drops the bags again. So he's dropping these bags, which are pretty close to his weight because he kind of falls slowly. So let's say Marty, he looks kind of short. I'm not gonna lie. Let's say Marty weighs 160 pounds. Those bags, let's say they weigh 150, 140, because he falls pretty slow when he jumps with the bags. So he's dropping 140 pounds on these guys twice from probably 20 feet in the air. And the second time, their heads are on the ground, and he drops these bags on their heads again. Dude, these guys got fucked up.
Yeah. That's his revenge for his concussion. Now they have brain damage.
It's true. These guys got wrecked.
Yeah, for sure. They got fucked. Now, this is where Marty runs into Biff after this, because he has defeated the goons. The goons are, I don't know.
He runs
dead.
out. Yeah, possibly dead. I mean, we do see them in 2015, but now we have a new timeline created. So we don't know exactly if these guys existed outside of that timeline C. So Marty's talking shit to Biff. Biff calls him chicken. And then Marty shuts the door in Marty's face. Marty A shuts the door on Marty B's face.
And Biff actually sees double Marty's.
Sees double Marty's, and he doesn't acknowledge it, I don't think. Marty gets knocked out. He takes his almanac. He kicks him for taking the almanac, and he kicks him for his car. And that's it. So Biff is in less murder mode. Maybe because he realizes that he's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
He goes to meet Doc on top of the school. He's like, I lost the fucking almanac. Biff took it. He's a cunt. And then
this is where they land on Biff's car. Apparently.
They land behind Biff. Yeah, he cruises behind Biff.
Yeah.
What do you think about this whole scene?
Well, I thought it was cool that they noted how well cars used to be made versus like the DeLorean. He's like, he'll rip through us like tissue paper, which when I was younger, that didn't make sense to me. But now it's like a production kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. No, you think about, I mean, this is maybe this is a 1985 thing where cars now are way more solid, but they're made out of much like lighter materials.
Right, yeah.
But like old cars, they were made out of like steel, but they crumpled is the thing. But maybe they could plow through. But yeah, or they just were built a little bit more solid. But you watch a car accident of like a old car, like a 1985 car versus a 2015 car. Man, dude, that's a 1985 car. You don't not want to be in those.
No.
So
2015 cars, your engine falls to the ground, protects your lap, you're good. Hopefully.
You're good. You're good to go. 1985 car, maybe a little strong, but not a 2015 car.
Yeah.
And then, so we have this crazy scene where he's like fighting for the almanac. Marty does that really cool move where he pushes off the side of the wall over the hood of the car, and then he lands in the middle of the tunnel, though.
With
Biff.
Yeah, he's on his hoverboard.
He's on the hoverboard, yeah. Biff is full murder mode at this point, where he's like, I'm going to murder this kid.
Yeah.
I'm tired of Calvin Klein.
He actually just tries to kill him. Super.
Yeah, he
super tries.
Straight up tries to kill.
Even more than the first movie.
Yeah, I guess the first movie is just like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with him a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe kill him, but like if he kills him, that's like, that's his fault.
Yeah.
This one, he's like, I'm gonna kill this kid.
Yeah. I'm ready to kill him. Yeah. So I mean, essentially, he just keeps doing that. Marty does some fucking dope moves and gets to Almanac, and then
He chases him down the tunnel. Doc drops the liner from the billboard
yeah.
that he got stuck on earlier and dragged by accident.
Yeah, the promotional material looking shit.
And Marty grabs it and like flies up in the air. Now there was a theory that the Doc had done this, had like relived this moment previously, and that Marty had died. I'm not sure how it would work like with time, because he's going back to the same moment. So would there be like two Docs and two Martys, or there would be two Docs there? I guess.
Yeah, because the one Marty, they would have just.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Why do they say that?
Because he drops the rope right where it needs to be. He knows that Marty's in the tunnel, and he's picked up. I mean, maybe it's just because he's expecting Marty to get out. That's how he's going to get out. But possibly, you could say, the other way, where
Yeah.
he knew that Marty had died, at least in one timeline.
At least once.
Well, I guess, like, the way this movie works, though, sort of, I don't know. This movie doesn't really follow time travel physics or the way time travel is expected to work consistently, right?
Well, they make their own rules about time travel, and they don't really stick to it super well.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. So
Yeah.
it's
It's a good movie.
yeah, but it doesn't follow the rules exactly.
Makes you think.
So
Bit.
he misses Marty. He crashes into the manure truck, which passed them earlier. Which I like how they had the truck pass him earlier.
That.
I like how they
Yeah,
did it.
that's cool. That's one of my favorite lines in this movie is
It
manure.
was real. No one notices too. Oh, I like how too. First he's like shit, and then he crashes into it. He's like
Manure.
he says manure.
I hate manure. And he says that. He says that in all three movies.
Yeah, it's so great.
Manure.
So the almanac gets burned. Biff's pleasure paradise turns into Biff's waxing or car detailing is what it says, I think. And then I'm not sure why, but the DeLorean doesn't land. And they gave an explanation, but it just kind of seemed dumb. So Marty cruises down on the like the flag rope or whatever you would call it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they don't land DeLorean, because something about the storm I can't land, but I feel like you're only 30 feet in the air, 40 feet in the air. Just drop down. That would make it better, right?
Yeah. I mean, the closer.
It's less windy the closer to the ground.
And you got to imagine it's like obviously more technologically advanced than a fucking helicopter. Just fucking land it.
Yeah, it has 2015 flying technology.
Yeah.
They should easily be able to drop down during a storm. You're gonna tell me flying cars can't drop in a storm? I don't know.
I don't buy it.
It seems weird.
I don't buy it. But
I love this part.
yeah, I do too.
I felt like really clever and just good writing.
What, are you talking about Doc getting taken out or the after that?
Struck by lightning. I don't understand why the car is not moving at 55 miles an hour. Why it? I don't think there's any explanation for that, is there?
Why the car's what?
So the car's struck by lightning, and he time travels to 1885. I assume January 1st, because that's when the time travel thing was flickering earlier when we had like a foreshadowing.
Oh yeah.
But he wasn't moving at 55 or 88 miles an hour. So why did he time travel? I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, every time we've seen the DeLorean time travel, he's going to go
55
miles an hour.
Or 88. 88.
Yeah. So why is he? I mean, he's not. He's basically hovering at this point. He's going like 2 miles an hour.
Shit. That might be a plot hole. Or maybe that strike of lightning plus the Mr. Fusion was so powerful that...
Oh,
there you go.
maybe.
There you go.
Maybe. He was already charged up.
Yep. That's what it is.
So, the flicker from earlier. What were we saying?
I don't know if you had more. I was going to get to the guy that shows up with the letter, because that's my favorite part of the whole...
Yeah, go ahead, cover that, yeah.
Yeah, so fucking Doc's sitting up there, floating around, which is pretty cool looking. Like, they did pretty great for making a DeLorean float for so long.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's sitting there, shifting in the wind. Well, gets shocked, takes Doc back, January 1st. What'd you say,
1885.
1885. So 100 years before the original movie. And then Marty's sitting there just in awe. He's like, oh, fuck. And then this dude from Western Union comes up. He's like, are you Marty McFly? And he fucking hands him a letter from Doc. I thought that was cool as shit. Is that what you meant with the good writing?
Yeah, I thought it was really great because... So, I mean, he's...
Because you have to be
He
smart,
delivered a letter, you know, 70 years in the future. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What? So they talked about how they had bets on whether or not he'd be there. So imagine 1885. He's like, I'm going to send a letter to a guy 70 years from now on the street. You have to deliver on the street at this exact hour, and there's going to be a person there that's going to respond to the name Marty. Like, what do you think the fucking people... It'd be like a tall tale going through that Western Union
Yeah.
of this branch or whatever.
Because the people that were working the day Doc gave him that letter are dead for sure.
Yeah, everyone's dead.
The whole cast that was working at Western Union. And it just kept passing down. Like, people have retired.
And it's like an urban legend.
Yeah.
And people read it, I assume, right? Someone, they read that letter for sure. There's no way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It probably, like, people would work there be like, hey, do you want to read it? Read what? Read, like, the letter. What letter are you talking about? From fucking 1885, there's a letter for a guy 20 years from now.
Marty?
Shit, dude. Like,
Yeah, fuck.
his name's Marty. Fucking. I guess, yeah. Fucking. I guess, yeah. Let's read it. And, like, they're reading it like, what's a DeLorean?
Yeah. What the
What
fuck?
do you mean? 1885. Yeah, I mean, that's what he's in the letter. What is going on? Like, yeah, it would be like a... It'll be like a cool, like, urban myth of, like, that
Of the
place.
Western Union. Like, that's how they like, fuck the new workers there.
The new guy,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, hey,
new guy or girl. They're like, hey, you wanna read Marty's letter? And then they fuck that person.
You want to read the Marty? Do you want to read the Marty?
Oh, what's that? Oh, shit. You might...
Oh, shit.
Let's get pretty high for this one.
So, yeah, you read the fucking Marty. And then, so I was thinking about, too, okay, so here's where I was talking about earlier. So, Marty's at Lion Estates. He doesn't take a ride from the letter guy. He runs back into town. First off, it goes from raining to not raining. So there's that.
Pretty quickly.
So
yeah.
there's a good bit of distance covered, right? Between Linus, because they first off they took a flying highway to get from Lion Estates to downtown Hill Valley.
Yeah.
Now, but Marty just ran it.
Plus Lion,
and it was raining in one spot, and it didn't rain at the other spot.
Right. Yeah. It
didn't rain at all in Hill Valley. So something is going on with the sort of distance between this.
It's for sure a long way because they're in the country in one shot, and then the other shot they're in a town, like back in 1955.
So is Marty like the greatest athlete ever?
Or
is that what we're trying to say?
Yeah. Or is Marty just stupid and spent a long ass time walking after that shot? I don't know.
I would say running. I don't. Maybe he's running like 3-minute miles. He's a fucking future man.
Yeah.
Because he's done so much time travel. he's altered his body in ways that are unknown to man, and he doesn't realize it.
Yeah, well, he can't feel pain because he's not from that area. So yeah, he's super tough. He's pretty tough, Marty.
And then, I mean, the next shot is literally, like, he talks to Doc. He says, "Hey, I just sent you back." What he's talking about, he's like, "I'm back from the future, and shit be going down," basically, is what he says. And then we get a trailer for Back to the Future 3, which takes place summer 1990, and they give away a lot of stuff.
A lot of shit. I really...
It's a bad trailer.
Yeah, it's a bad trailer, and you're, like, forced to watch it because it's still part of the fucking movie. It's, like, not even that far off of the movie. But I do like Doc's reaction. Could you imagine that? Like, you just succeeded in sending Marty back, and then he just shows up again? This is probably something like happens to time travelers throughout their life. They're like, God damn it. When does this fucking end?
And also, too, I was Biff should recognize in 1985, like, I guess it goes to the whole sort of like, you're not supposed to notice, but everyone's like a clone of each other. But, you know, Marty's parents should have noticed, you know, oh, this guy looks just like Calvin Klein. Our son looks like Calvin Klein. But Biff, too, even if he wasn't in on it. Holy shit, this looks like the guy that I fucking got in a fight with twice in 1955.
Yeah.
Then he looks just like this guy I work for and wax his truck twice a day every week in 1985, and here he is again in 2015, and he happens to be my stepson.
Yeah, I mean, the clones just keep showing up so periodically throughout their lives that it'd be hard to forget what those people look like. Like,
yeah.
Like in 30
That's a
30
significant
years,
moment for Biff, right?
Yeah, if you showed up in 30 years from now, I'll remember how you look right now in 30 years, you know?
Yeah. If I punched you in the face, Corey.
Yeah.
Twice. Maybe not punch you in the face. If I made you total your car into a pile of manure today, I bet you fucking remember what it looked like in 30 years.
You're goddamn right. I hate manure.
If you're trying to murder me, if you're trying to murder me, you should remember my face.
Yeah, no shit. Plus, if somebody punches me in the face, that's like a natural reaction to take a mental screenshot of that moment. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
You can't help but remember that moment. But what the fuck? That's just plot shit, I suppose.
And then the fact that you worked for a guy's family.
Oh, a long time.
For 1985, like he's waxing everyone's car in that family. You tried to rape the woman that lives there, so I mean, there's that.
Weird move. They keep you around. I'll tell you that.
They keep you around, but you're there every week, I assume. That's what it looks like because George is crushing it with the books.
Yeah.
You're there every week, and I feel you should recognize Marty.
Yeah. You're just being lazy at this point, Biff.
So, and that's Back to the Future too.
Yeah, that's Back to the Future too. I always have such a good time covering movies about time travel because there's so much juice we can get out of it.
Juice. It's like a juicy orange.
Juicy fucking time traveling orange. We should do Interstellar for sure soon. And then...
Oh, shit.
What movie were we... Yeah, Interstellar for sure. Because... fuck the streaming thing. And then... What other movie did we just talk about doing? Oh, Ragnarok.
Wait. I don't think we talked about the Ragnarok, but...
What did we talk? I just texted you the other day, like, we should do this movie. You're like, consider it done.
Oh, well, I forgot about that. That was way too long ago in the past.
What the fuck? We just talked about remembering each other for 30 more years. You don't remember when I texted you a week ago? No, we'll figure something out. I think we should do a little book crunching. I would like to get to the point where people could recommend movies for us. That'd be cool. So if you guys are...
Oh, you did say Thor Ragnarok. I've never had a cool hit I didn't like.
Yeah, there you go. Did I said Ragnarok, you said?
You did say Thor Ragnarok.
Okay, cool. Whatever. We'll figure it out. You got anything to add on to this?
Go on iTunes and give us a rating.
Yeah, that'd be dope. How many of those do we need to get known?
Probably about 1 million.
Okay, cool. So yeah, everyone helps. Only you can prevent wildfire. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. This is Cornelius signing out.
See you.